Whoa!
Woo!
We are live.
Did you guys see that? That cool transition? Woo!
You muted over here?
Am I muted?
You are not.
I am not. There we go.
Hello.
Woo!
Oh, I'm not that much of me's cut off.
No, that's perfect. And we have a little Anthony hanging out in the
little
corner.
backdrop looks good. I'd like to get that like there.
Oh,
if we could.
Like all this like up
get
here?
the light on the light.
Yeah, we've got don't ruin the illusion. We are in a nice urban coffee shop, and
I love it when my brick walls have ruffles.
Shh, shh. We are in a coffee shop. Did I make it? I thought I missed it. If you guys hear an elephant upstairs, that's Nate stomping around. He should be here to occupy this chair in just a few minutes. And we also have Anthony Wolf balanced on top of Mark's head.
Mm-hmm.
So here, get underneath him like you're, or maybe like hold your hands up like you're holding him in a little box.
There's like a 30-second delay.
Okay, well,
somewhere I think right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
There you go. Pat him on the head. Aww. Isn't that nice, guys? All right, guys. Let's see. We have Beth Hansen is here. Gabby is here. Larry is here. Connie is here. Rockstar Readers are here. Irina is here. And Alicia is here. So, LOL, Ripple Bricks. Happy Friday, everybody. We have some really cool announcements to make, and we are also going to be talking about the Etsy ads platform, which we covered with Pam Duthie. Anthony, what day did we do that?
8 days ago.
8 days ago. Around a week ago. You can go back in the eRank group, which I did not link down below. Crap. I linked eRank down below. Debbie, you should throw the eRank group in the comments. Oh. What's happening? Where are they going? I've lost the boys. There's one boy. You're ruining the illusion by shaking the It's an earthquake. You guys can go to the eRank group if you want to watch the video covering pretty much the same subject with Pam Duthie, but I'm sure that there will be some gold nuggets in there that we don't cover today. The dog can't figure out how to get around the banner and she's freaking out. This is the nature of live, guys. That's how you know it's really live.
That's how you know it's do it live.
So.
Whoa, and I am balanced on something. Okay.
There you go. Okay, we're all set in now. Never been here for the start before. You aren't missing much. Couple quick announcements before we get started. If you guys are not in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, that is linked down below. It is free to join. You can ask questions about Etsy in there. But every week, Nate over here has been posting a weekly challenge. Last week's challenge wasn't super popular. It was to find businesses that inspire you. For some reason, I think we had 5 comments on that. And this week, the challenge was post your favorite recipe. And people
didn't like people to aspire to?
No, they didn't want to talk about
That's like one of the most important things in business is having somebody to look up to.
But we asked them for recipes. And how many comments were there? Were like 100 comments.
Over 100 comments. And everybody that was recommending stuff, it was like all this like out of this world type of stuff that I've never heard of before. So
it was like time-saving recipes for you guys on busy days.
I haven't even been like through the entire list yet, but I have like a year's worth of recipes to go through now. So I'm excited for that, but I would really like to see people participate every week. So
yes.
Go join our group so everybody can be a part.
Get in there.
And it's pinned to the top of the group every week. It says Alpha Weekly Challenge. So look for that. A fancy animated talking hat. That's Anthony.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Oh,
just in case you hit a key that ends the live stream magically.
Yeah, let's not do that. Next little bit of news is last week or week before, because last week was my birthday and I'm not streaming on my birthday. We had the week before that a summer survival guide for you guys. There's a video included, but you can also just grab the PDF down below. That's going to teach you some strategies to survive the slow summer season, as well as prepare yourself for the busier upcoming winter season, which I know sounds crazy since it's winter right now, but the actual winter sales season will start in around August to September. So you want to start prepping for that now. You can grab that PDF down below, and once you download that, you'll also be sent a link to the live stream that kind of covers everything that we talk about in that PDF. So you'll get both of those. Next up, This is something that Anthony and I talked about in his live stream yesterday in the eRank group. But if you are making products related to the coronavirus, whether that be face masks for protection or things to kind of make light of a very crazy situation, regardless, Etsy's taking those down. So make sure that if you have things like that listed, you should probably take them down before Etsy does. I don't think that anybody's getting banned from Etsy for
No,
doing
there's nothing
it.
in
But
particular that we know of that is against terms of service. It's just,
it's not in good taste.
yeah, it's not in good taste.
So let's not profit off of a pandemic, and let's maybe take those listings somewhere else if you are dead set on selling them. Etsy, eBay, and Amazon are taking them down. So next bit of information for those who have been waiting, Handmade Alpha Academy will be opening on June 14th. That is 99 days from today. So if you're interested in joining that, or if you have been waiting for enrollment to open back up, the link to our waiting list is down below, where you will be the first to know when doors open, and we'll do a little bit of pre-gaming to let you guys know what to expect, answer any questions that you might have, and talk a little bit about some of the students that are already in HAA. So that's coming up. And lastly, Anthony, do you want to give them like a brief summary of what keyword lists are and why they should be super excited about that?
Oh, yeah. So keyword lists, that's a new feature coming out to eRank. All things going well in about 7 days from now. It allows you to collect keywords during your keyword research process and do stuff with them. So you can basically create groups for new products, maybe products you're working on next month or the month after. You can group them in any which way you like. You can color code them. Basically we're trying to help people get rid of all those post-it notes that are on your desks and in your notepads, and get them online so you can see continuously updated data, and then go and use those keyword lists, apply them to new listings, or do whatever you like to do with them.
Yeah, guys, I've been beta. When did you release beta? How long have I been playing with it?
We've had the beta for about 4 weeks now, so we've got a great amount of feedback from the beta testers out there. If there are any of you out there watching today, thank you very much. The feedback's been awesome. I mean, I'm not just looking for pats on the back. It's really stuff that can help you save time. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, it's been about 4 weeks now, so I think we're right. We published another small update today, just cleaning up the user interface. There's a few little bugs in there, but hopefully we're good. And if you are on the beta group and you do see something that looks a little odd, hit that feedback button and we'll check it out and get it fixed.
Awesome. Yeah, he's probably underselling it dramatically, but it is freaking amazing because when I'm doing my keyword research, I have to go back repeatedly and make sure that those keywords that I've researched are still doing well. And now we have that little list that kind of hangs out at the bottom of your screen, where you can constantly monitor these keywords when you're doing keyword research, and you can add things to that little list as you're researching. You can say, hey, I want to keep my eye on this, or hey, this is something I might want to test in my shop, and you can just forever keep track of it without having to search it every single time you want to see how those results are kind of fluctuating, just based on seasonality and things. So really useful tool. Be sure to join eRank. You can join free today. The link is down below. And quick disclaimer, I used to say I'm not an affiliate of eRank, and now I work for eRank. So I'm not an affiliate of eRank because I'm not getting paid to recommend it, but I do work for. That's how that works, right? Is that how we do a disclaimer?
Oh yeah, you work for eRank.
But I'm not paid on commission for telling you guys to use it. All right. Let's talk about what everybody's been waiting for, Etsy ads. I've got 2 links for you guys down below. The first link is the announcement that Etsy made, the official announcement that freaked everybody out. You might have received an email about it or seen it on your Etsy dashboard in the form of a pop-up. Yeah, he's waiting for you know what? Last time we streamed about this in Anthony's group, no one was super upset. So, I mean, they were upset.
There's no reason to be.
There was a lot of positivity, and let's try to keep that up. So, you've probably received the email. You've seen it on your dashboard. There's a full article linked down below, and Etsy also hosted a Q&A, not a video Q&A, but a kind of like a blog post where people could type their questions and Etsy would answer those questions. So I went ahead and linked that down below as well. We might not have all of the answers to your questions about Etsy ads today, but what we will do is kind of do our best to answer based on what we know. We will direct you to resources if we don't know the question, or we will attempt to find out, because Anthony and I both have a phone number, and some of you might have it as well if you are one of those lucky sellers who received that like feedback phone number from Etsy. Some people received it a couple weeks ago. I received mine yesterday, so you might get it at a random time. So we'll try to get some answers for you. And make sure to not post that phone number anywhere. You're not supposed to do that. Don't post it in the chat, please.
Yeah, don't do that.
Anthony, for anybody who's lived under a rock for the last few weeks, what is this whole Etsy ads thing? What is it? What did Etsy do? Why is everybody freaking out?
Okay, so my understanding, and I feel like this is still a bit of a moving target,
Yes.
but my understanding is that Etsy are now going to be offering a risk-free advertising model.
What's
which
that
basically means you will only pay Etsy when one of your items sells from one of those ads that Etsy's been promoting for you. So on the surface, it sounds really good, and it is my favorite advertising model. I'll be very clear about that. I think a lot of people are freaking out though, because it's pretty high. The advertising fee is anywhere between, well, it's either 12 or 15%.
Yes.
So a lot of people should be worried about that, because if you don't have a lot of profit on your items, if you're trying to keep your products as affordable as possible, that could wipe out all your profits. So that's why people are freaking out. I think that as long as you're aware of that potential, and as long as Etsy can be really transparent in their reporting, you should be able to manage this okay. So generally, I'm excited about it because it is risk-free. There's no other place that I can think of off the top of my head where you can go and advertise your products today and only pay when there's a sale. So that bit's beautiful, but keep an eye on your profits there.
Yeah, and that's what people are most upset about is the percentage of the fee. But Anthony and I we looked at this, and I don't think that there are any other platforms at this time that are still cheaper than.
No.
And you looked it up too, didn't you?
Yeah, so we did kind of the math, and I'm not going to post any of our profit numbers, but looking at our percentage, and it's off-site ads only that Etsy are paying for. It's not going to be like the Etsy site ads, right? Like we've confirmed that. It's off-site ads only, right? I just want to make sure that hasn't changed.
Well, it's called off-site ads. It's advertising on Facebook, Google Shopping, Pinterest, and Instagram.
So just doing real simple off the top of your head math here, it's a percent of a percent, right? It's not a percent of every single sale that you make. It's a percent of every sale that you make off-site when referred by an ad that Etsy has paid for. So let's say you make like the average livable wage in our area, which is around $30,000. And our sales percent was 5% from off-site ads. We'll buff that, we'll double it, call it 10%. That's $3,000. So they're going to be taking 15 or 12% of that $3,000. It's really not as much money as I think people need to be freaking out about, especially if you're the kind of person that was already putting money into ads. If you're the kind of person that was already putting money into ads every single week, that's what, $400 something over the course of an entire year if you made $30,000 on Etsy at 15%, with 10% of those being off-site. So realistically, it's probably not going to cost you any more. And if you weren't putting any money into ads, those are sales you wouldn't have made otherwise, right?
That's true. What people are upset about is that if they make $10,000 or more, they don't have the choice to turn it off.
This was a pretty common business model in the early days of internet sales websites.
Mark did a lot of research on this,
and even before that, it's kind of like a refer
ad scholar.
not really, but I mean, this was one of the most popular style of ad formats a while back. It's basically kind of on a refer a friend style basis, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments here, and the folks that I've spoken to about it share the same sentiment. Rucker Lee and Angelica were both saying, that mandatory thing where you don't have the ability to opt out, I'm hearing that echoed absolutely everywhere. To me, that's really tough, and I feel like I really hope Etsy have a rethink about that, and people are giving Etsy their feedback so that they do reconsider that position. To me, I understand, Etsy have been paying a lot of money to these marketplaces to advertise your products anyway, and we haven't been getting charged up until now. So I understand their motivation to try and offset that cost. I really don't like that it's mandatory. We'll be chatting to Etsy, I think, either late this afternoon or Monday. That's we, as in my wife and I, and that'll be one of the things that we'll be talking about because she's affected by that. So, let them know. That's the advice I was giving people last week. Etsy is a data-driven company. They will look at feedback from people, and if there's enough people singing the same song, they'll listen, or they should listen. That's how a good company will work.
And for everybody in the comments, I mean, just keep in mind, like we are sellers too. Like we know how badly this sucks, and what we're trying to do is kind of like put a silver lining on it. So
I'm the kind of person not being able to opt out. Yeah, that really does suck, but that might not even be a decision that Etsy really has control over. Realistically, they have shareholders. They have people that they have to be keeping happy. And if the numbers were working in a direction where they had to do something like that, there's a very good chance that they don't really have a choice in the say.
Didn't Etsy stocks go up when they made this announcement,
Yeah.
Anthony? Did you see that?
Yep. And they're actually bucking the trend for the most part of, if you've been following their share price compared to, the rest of the market. They've been going in this direction while everyone else has been going in that direction. So it's been very well received. I think there may be some other factors in there, but I'm not going to speculate. That's getting outside my area of expertise.
And realistically, looking at how business works, if people are buying into the stock, the shareholders are happy, then they believe that this is going to make Etsy money. Etsy makes money based on you making money. So for the majority of sellers, realistically, they're what I'm assuming they're hoping is that they're going to be able to push more sales for more of their shops.
I really like this name, Macintosh Designs. I love that. That's a great name. I hope that's your Etsy shop name. Since Etsy announcement, my sales from advertising went down drastically. I usually have, 1 to 8 return on investment, and now it's 4 to 1. Also, Etsy started to use my entire budget. Okay, so I don't think that the ads hasn't kicked in yet, right, Anthony? Like that's.
I don't know. I've seen, like, through my wife's shop, she's gone through some very recent fluctuations as well. Her CPCs went up to 60 cents dramatically, like overnight.
Woo!
And she sort of typically hovers around, I think, 10 to 15 cents. So she had a big wake-up moment when she saw that, turned them off immediately. So I have a sneaking feeling they are starting to experiment. I don't know. I haven't heard directly from Etsy on this one. They usually keep that to themselves. But just from some of these odd comments that I'm getting from here and there, it feels like they're starting to play around with the system. And that makes good sense when you think about it. If they're making such a huge, massive change, they've got to start ramping that up. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on there already.
Yeah, and I've noticed too, a lot of sellers have been reporting very similar things where they're saying that their sales, it might not just be a decrease in sales, it might just be just strange things where their ad budgets are getting eaten up. And it's one of those things where you should just, while Etsy is testing things, keep an eye on your ad budget. And if things get bad, turn it off, just, I mean, and Anthony, you said your wife turned hers off.
Yeah, normally we like to look at the stats on a weekly basis because when you get too granular, you start to have these knee-jerk reactions. But when it got to 60 cents, which was 4 times more than she was normally paying for a click, it was like, okay, something's going wrong here. We'll back out for a day or so, turn it back on again and watch it closely. And if it's stabilized, then we'll be fine. And that's what she's done. But it still seems a little higher than normal. So
we see a couple people in the comments also saying that their cost per click is more than doubled.
Ooh, yeah. I have a sneaky feeling, and I'm going to speculate here, and I think a lot of you know that I don't like to speculate too much.
None of us.
It's not your style.
Disclaimer.
Speculation alarm.
So, take this as you like. If budgets are starting to be shifted from, say, Google shopping ads back into Etsy ads, then maybe there's more money, and that is upping the marketplace, or having an effect on the marketplace dynamics, which basically means higher CPCs. So that could be what's going on there. Again, I don't know enough about the inner workings of Etsy's marketplace. I don't think I've seen anything from them that explains it enough. So I'm assuming it behaves somewhat similar to other marketplaces like Google Ads.
Sabrina said, I know the news media is following it. I was contacted this week by a business magazine that follows the Etsy changes. He's doing another article on this in the shipping push. So she was contacted by a magazine that wants to cover all this. And I've noticed more. I mean, there's always a little bit of news publicity when Etsy does something like this, but the publicity that I've seen surrounding this change in particular has been a lot crazier than with the free shipping push or with the ODR. And I don't know if this is really the thing that, I mean, if we're gonna really storm Etsy with a concern, I feel like ODR is the thing that maybe we should.
I feel like I would have been a lot more pissed off about ODR than I would about this in particular. Just because of my perspective on it, I really don't see a whole lot of damage other than not being able to opt out. I really don't see how this could do a whole lot of damage to most sellers. I mean, unless you're making a few $100,000 a year and most of your sales come from offsite ads, I really don't. Like, if you're making, we did the math earlier, if you're making $30,000 a year and $450, a tax write-off of $450 breaks your bank, then you probably have more problems than Etsy taking $450.
Beth asked, does anyone know if we can opt in, or if we opt in, can we opt out later? I would like to use it during the holidays only and then turn it off. I believe that if you're making under $10,000, you can. I think that you can opt back out of them. I would, Anthony, have you heard?
I haven't seen enough data on it, because to me it just sounded like if you make more than 10,000, you're in it, and if you don't, then you're not.
Yeah, I think my understanding is that under 10,000 you can opt in and out. But you know, I might ask them when we have our call. My understanding is once you get to that 10,000 mark, you're in for life.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would definitely like to know that.
It's a great question for Etsy, and you know, everyone's got the ability to ask Etsy as well. So you know, don't take our word for it alone. Feel free to reach out to them directly as well. But, I definitely want to know, because I get asked a lot, and I'd like to share facts where I know them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another little FYI that you guys should kind of be aware of, is if you make $10,000 one year, but the next year you only make $2,000, and you are automatically opted into those ads when you made $10,000, you will still be opted into those ads, even if next year you only make $2,000. So that's another one of those kind of like griefs that we have with this whole system. Just be aware that that is a thing that Etsy has confirmed. Lots of people saying that their CPCs are going up, but the ads actually seem to be working for me now. So that's interesting. They're seeing those go up, but they're actually making sales from them.
My wife's been a little more erratic, I guess, with her ad performance, but her sales have generally been really good, much better than this time last year, and to the point where we can't really explain it. It seems to be working favorably. I mean, she sells jewelry. Maybe other people in the jewelry category are doing equally as well, but it hasn't all been tied to Etsy ads.
Right.
Had a wonderful boost just before they announced it, and then things went a little crazy.
Yeah. And everybody, I haven't seen anyone in the comments say anything about theirs going down. Everybody's saying that they're going up dramatically. Yeah. So just keep an eye on it. If it starts to hit that discomfort level where it's starting to hurt, that would be the time to go ahead and turn them off. And I mean, you can always test things later. Let's see. Ultima Dragons, people who shop on Etsy, not just sellers, have heard about this too, and some are hesitant to buy now. And that's the one thing that is confusing me, is I've been seeing a lot of these articles floating around, and Anthony, I don't know if you've seen these, but they're telling other buyers, if you see something from a shop, don't click on their ad. If you see a product that you want to look at, avoid clicking their ad and go look at their shop name and type their shop name in directly and go to their shop name. And it's almost like the buyers on Etsy are trying to rally together to help the Etsy sellers. And I'm just like, this.
If you think boycotting a website on a small degree is going to make any bit of a change, you're vastly incorrect.
Buyers are there to buy. I mean, there might be a couple who have heard about this and are hesitant to buy, but it's not, trust me, if it was affecting Etsy sales, they wouldn't be doing it. This is something that is going to boost
their stocks
sales.
would have dropped, not gone up.
I don't read too much into anecdotal stuff. That's what I would say. I haven't heard about this. It does seem a little unusual. I dare say there's a handful of people out there that have said, yeah, I'm doing that. And it's great. Wouldn't it be nice if they all bypassed the ad and did exactly what you described? But I have a sneaking feeling most people are clicking wherever they want to click.
Denise said, what I saw somewhere is once you opt in, you can't opt back out. I haven't heard that though, so we need to make sure that we
only for people over 10,000 is what we've heard.
Yeah. We'll make sure that we figure it out.
We'll get all this stuff worked out. The big thing is when a website makes a big change like this, like regardless, you can look at little changes like your cost per click and stuff like that going up, but realistically, you're not going to notice the effects of it for probably quite a long time. Especially if they've got new ways with or new deals that they've made with some of these search platforms, how the ads are actually performing. You're not going to notice the difference with this. It's not going to be like a week or 2 weeks. It's going to take a while.
Tiffany said, affect 20% of my sales. And I assume that you mean paid ads are what affect 20% of my sales. Should I just double check?
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, maybe reiterate a little bit because I don't want to miss any questions. Feel free to start getting questions in. It looks like we've got 215 live, Anthony.
I know, it's great.
How's the pressure feeling?
I'm getting stage fright.
Anthony's echoing. Due to the way we have it set up, we can't really prevent that. There'll be a little bit of echo.
Yeah, it's a little crazy right now. We plan to fix it very soon.
In order to have 3 people listening to someone else on the other line and also have a microphone, we would all have to be wearing headphones. And the only way to not look like total idiots would be to have in-ear headphones, and those are not cheap. So,
Transformational Healing by Donna said, sales from ads have dropped for me, but overall my shop is up over 200% for the year. I've been doing social media marketing and driving traffic by myself. That's something that I teach, guys. Make sure that you're driving your own traffic. Don't just rely on, SEO and ads are fantastic. That is a great traffic source. But imagine if you have an equally strong traffic source. So you have these 2 funnels that are leading directly to your Etsy shop.
Or even more.
Or more. You can
Because you've got YouTube, you've got email lists,
TikTok,
Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. There's like 1,000 different platforms. Don't rely just on what Etsy's going to do for you.
Right.
Entrepreneurship's all about doing it yourself and getting it done.
Exactly.
Add more sales lanes on your highway to Etsy success.
I like that.
Let's trademark.
More threads in the web.
Etsy said one of the reasons it was.
What? I think that was creative. More threads in the web to get them caught.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Anthony, you be the judge. 9 out of 10.
What?
You've lost.
What did you say?
You got to judge that slogan.
You said 9 out of 10, but you gave him the score.
0 out of 10.
0 to 10.
Marketing person, Starla. 8 out of 10.
All right. That's about my usual grade in school, so.
Wrong answer.
Let's see. Etsy said one of the reasons it was made mandatory is to create a more consistent base for data collections.
I could see that.
Sellers turning ads on and off made it difficult to get ads in front of the right people. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, I think. If you have machine learning algorithms, which they claim to have, trying to optimize all the time, the thing you need to do is give these algorithms time to learn and adapt and behave. So if you're in there tinkering and playing around with all the levers and so forth, they're just going, I don't know what to do with these ads. So there's some logic in what I'm hearing there.
Could maybe them doing this be the fact that the majority of sellers already paid for ads anyway, so they thought this would be the right move, paying for the ads for them?
Not sure.
I don't know. It's more speculation. I mean, if they're using machine learning, they're going to base a lot of their decisions off of what their AI is telling them is going on.
The alphas are saying that you're echoing like a godly figure, and you're echoing inside of Mark's head, because it's like you are his thoughts booming in his brain. You're his conscious now. Mark's conscious has an Australian accent. Always, no matter where he is all day, he hears Anthony's voice. Christina said, "Why are we worried about offsite ads? We're all small business owners for a reason. We don't like being bossed around." Yeah, I can agree, but let's see how this plays out. Everyone asks me what I think about it, and I think that there are some bad things about it. I think that the main objective of them is good, and I'm willing to see it through to see how things play out in the end.
Shameless plug. We have a Facebook group where you can join. And
link down below.
Over the course of time, when your shop sees changes based on this, the more people we have reporting what's going on, the less we have to rely on Etsy telling us what it's looking like from their side, and we can get the facts straight on our end. So join our Facebook group and tell us how it affects your shop.
There you go. Let us know. Janelle said, "Will the advertising be promoting my shop or my products? Will all shops like mine be advertised together? I have so many questions." I don't know.
My understanding is a product level advertising.
So product by product,
Yeah.
on Pinterest, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, and will all shops like mine be advertised together? I would assume that it's not, that they wouldn't be clustered ads where it would be a bunch of things, right? It would be your product is advertised.
No idea.
Yeah. I don't know. On these offsite places, Etsy probably don't have a lot of control over the advertisement. So it's hard to say. I'm more familiar with what they do on Google Shopping than on Pinterest and other sites. But yeah, I think when I was saying at a product level, I think that would be Google Shopping. That would make sense to me. The rest, I don't know.
Markintosh Designs. Now, if you
Hey, Mark.
now if you're searching images on Google, in the Images tab, first couple of lines, lots of ads from Etsy and Reverb, which is part of Etsy. Hey, we know that. This is a good change. So, and I've always seen, if I click on Google Shopping, I mean, at least the products that I personally search, I always see a lot of Google Shopping ads for Etsy in particular.
Reverb ads are bad for my wallet.
Yeah.
I buy all my music stuff on Reverb.
Right. Some bad and some good, and I think it should be good for most. One can hope. Yeah. Us too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we need to go in and set a budget per day? I've not done ads since they added Google Shopping versus just Etsy. Setting a budget per day?
Well, if you're not motivated to do advertising, which is fine, especially if you're under 10,000, it's up to you, really. I think advertising as general is a good tactic to try, especially, I don't hear anyone saying I've got too many sales, so you may want to try it, but keep an eye on your budget. Yes, if you haven't done it already, Cynthia, I'd say give it a try, but be really careful with your budget.
Yeah. Test things, keep an eye on it, check it frequently. Don't set.
The goal is to make money from
Yeah.
your shop, not to put money into your shop to keep it going, right? So
Yep.
you have to make sure that you're using something like eRank's profit calculator to keep track.
Oh,
Hey, man.
Anthony, you should
Nice plug there, Nick.
good plug. I don't even think it was intentional. Do you want to give them a little reminder of what you added this week?
Yeah, so if you pop into eRank, in the tools menu, there's a profit calculator feature. For those that aren't familiar with it, you can put in the price of your item, shipping, if you still charge shipping. You can even apply a discount or a coupon. And then you can put other costs in there like your time, supplies, things like that. And now we've added an option where you can put in the Etsy advertising fee that you think you'll be paying. So if you're not advertising or you're below that 10,000, you can put in 0 in there, or you can put in 12 or 15%. And what it will do is calculate what we think is your profit based on the numbers that you've entered in there. So please get in there and use it. If you're unsure, really get in there, try and enter as much detail as you can so that it's as accurate as possible. I think it will help a lot of people understand how much these fees might affect your bottom line. So it's a good, I think it's a really good update for people to get in there now and start educating themselves about just how much will be left over, because some people may want to start increasing their prices.
And that's a free feature, correct?
Free, totally free. Yep.
All right. eRank is
everyone.
eRank is linked down below. Make sure that you sign up if you do not have a free membership yet.
You should.
And you definitely should. Let's see. Ginger, or no, I'm sorry. I wonder if Etsy will now mostly advertise high value items, since that will generate the most in charges. It'll be interesting to see what items they choose to advertise. I doubt that they're going to do it based on the price of the item. I think that something that would be reflected more if they were to factor those things in is things like maybe seller history and
trends,
your overall feedback score, reviews, and things like that.
Yeah. I think the other thing as well is relevancy starts to take play, has a role here as well. So if something was $200 but it was not relevant or it had a horrible conversion rate, it may be more beneficial to advertise $50 items, and they may actually make more money in lots of little chunks than a big amount of money, rarely from one big chunk.
Yeah. Ria asks, so does this mean successful shops will only get more sales than shops who are just starting? Smaller shops will get less traffic and get overpowered by bigger shops? No.
Not necessarily.
No.
Yeah, I think smaller shops will be okay. I think one of the things that Etsy does is they do give love to new listings and new shops. So I think it helps Etsy show diverse results to buyers. And I think that's what buyers come to Etsy for, those unique sort of gifts. So I don't think that will happen. Or if they start to see signs that does happen, they'll probably adjust their algorithms to make sure that there is a fair distribution for the smaller shops that are out there.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, when you list a new product, if we're talking about like search placement and organic search placement and your actual how your SEO comes into play, you do get a little boost. Like when you list a new item, Etsy has to kind of evaluate how people interact with that listing initially. So when you list a new product, whether you're a new shop or not, you get a little boost in the search results. And that's why it's really important to make sure that things like your thumbnails, your product descriptions are really accurate. You have a lot of great photos of your product. All of these little things are going to play into whether or not that person who's seeing your product may be higher in the search page than where it would land if it wasn't a new listing. That first few days, and I think that they can say it can be like a couple hours to several days before they can accurately decide where that listing will fall organically. But those first few days, I would say, are really crucial. So making sure that you've got a really great listing when measured up to every single other listing that is on that search page. That's little off topic, but that's just kind of the ways that I think that new sellers and new listings still have an advantage.
That was a question, the one you have highlighted.
Yeah.
About tax.
When I see my products, when I Google them, on the ad I click, it says no tax on my listings. However, Etsy does take tax. Is there something I need to change in my shop to change that?
If you're seeing it on Google, I doubt there's anything on Etsy that you can do to change that. However, most people that have a tax for buying things online are probably already going to know that they have a tax.
Right. Well, where are you?
If you buy things online, do you have a tax? Because if so, then it's probably going off of where you're at because it's your IP address.
Yeah, I don't know that you can, or other marketplaces can successfully determine if tax is applying until they know more details about the buyer's address and things like that. So, yeah.
And that stuff changes all the time too. Like we just recently got a whole bunch of like I'm starting to get taxes for buying things online now, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tiffany did reiterate her question. She said, my stats are going a little crazy right now on Etsy. I know that we're only 6 days in, but Etsy marketing and SEO visits are up 500%. I do have a large amount of sales on Etsy. Just check margins.
Yeah, check the margins. I would definitely do that before the new ads kicks in. You want to make sure that there's enough profit left over. You know, you want to, for argument's sake, you want to have like 30% profit margin, especially if you're going to get hit with a 15% fee. You'll have to figure out those numbers, by the way. I'm just giving you it as an example. You don't want to start getting to a point where you're losing money.
Bro with the beard has some gorgeous eyes.
We were really trying to pay attention to Anthony answering.
I was like,
but we were laughing at Gingy's comment because she said,
"Bro with the beard." My name is Mark, by the way. Thanks.
This is husband. He has a beard. Nate, do you want to ask? You want to ask this one since we all know the answer to it, but we'll read it for dramatic effect.
Does eRank have a tool where you can figure out how much an average buyer spends per purchase within a specific niche?
No.
we
Thinking about it like,
no. There's no way. There's no way that you can even get that information. That's like private, right?
That'd be cheat codes.
To be honest, you know, we can provide you with some sales stats for your listings. But Etsy mark that as private, so typically that is between you, Etsy, and the IRS, or you know, your tax agency, whatever your country is. So yeah, we can't do that. It's very cool, a little creepy, but we can't do that.
What she was looking for more was like jewelry customers spend an average of $50 per purchase or something like that. Just averages for industry standards on how much people generally spend.
I think that's quite a good request.
Yeah.
Getting that information from Etsy, even at a very high level, is really difficult to do. We first of all have to have the permission of the shop owner to do that. So it'll be a subset, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'll ask the Etsy guys, see how they feel about that. I have a sneaking feeling they will say, no, you can't do that. And I'll have to respect their wishes there.
I wonder if because it would just
I'll
be
see if I can
averages.
come back with some sort of ballpark guidance, but
just a graph. If they could just give us like a general graph of like, you know, some primary industries and, you know, what
because that wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with like individual
PII.
individual shops or individual shoppers. It would just be like an averages style of thing.
And you know what? It may be a good request that, to throw directly at them to see if they can provide that as well. Because I feel like if you know more about your industry, your niche, then you can start to go, okay, I'm in the zone here. I'm not, you know,
well,
you can see where you should be selling.
I think that would be good guidance that Etsy provided.
I can see why Etsy wouldn't provide that though, because if someone who makes crocheted doilies wants to know how popular their niche is, and then they see that there's hardly anyone buying crocheted doilies on Etsy, they're gonna pick up shop and move somewhere else, which probably isn't what Etsy wants.
They don't want to discourage the sellers.
Yeah, and there's also some sensitivity. You've got to remember that these Etsy is a publicly listed company. They're on the stock exchange, so there may be some adverse effects for them publishing this sort of information. But I'm not going to go down that path. I'll ask them, see if it's something they can do, or if it's something that they could help us do at a very high level. But like I said, I think it's a very slim chance that this will happen. So don't hold out for something like that too soon.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like something that they would provide, but we can all cross our fingers. We've got about 15 minutes, guys, so get in some last minute questions. I did want to, this isn't a question, but I did want to read it. I had a customer that was upset and I had to refund tax because of it. I'm in Texas, but I was researching it. No tax showed in several Etsy searches, not just my items. I don't think that you are supposed to refund tax that they are supposed to pay. In fact, I actually think that that's
It would be, you wouldn't be able to refund the tax. You would be refunding
part of your purchase,
part of the purchase
item
that would make up the tax. But then you would they would also be refunded the tax for the difference if you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I'd raise with Etsy.
I wouldn't do that.
It feels like bullying to me.
Yeah, if somebody,
it absolutely does.
it's the same as when people get upset that they were charged a customs fee, or they weren't allowed to take their package when it was delivered until they paid the postal carrier because they live somewhere where that's required. And it's right in our shop policies that we cannot cover those costs for buyers. It is not allowed.
And I think it goes back to your ethics, but I don't believe in bartering with a customer for not getting a negative review. If a customer is going to be an ass, refund the order and be done with them. They're just not worth being a customer at that point.
And the other bit, and it's a bit CYA here, but make sure you keep that communication within Etsy. Don't have private emails with them or call them or anything like that. You want to have that little trail so that if something goes really wrong, then you can say to Etsy, here's the dialogue. This is what they tried to do. Help.
Carrie asks a really good question. Once the new ads go live officially, how long do you think that we should give it to settle? So how long should we give those ads time to kind of nestle in and take hold?
Well, considering the sort of fluctuations my wife's been seeing in her shop, I would be watching it like a hawk for those first couple of days, especially if you're really struggling to make ends meet. I would be, again, if people have been on the eRank live sessions, you'll know that I'm very conservative with that. I would rather tell people just to be really defensive from an advertising perspective. In terms of how long it takes to take hold, gosh, we just don't know. I would just watch those stats on a daily basis for at least the first week, and then make a decision after that.
Yeah, there's no real way to tell how long it's going to take to see how long things are going to settle. It could be a week, it could be 6 months.
Yeah, and I imagine in that first week, a lot of people are turning them on, turning them off, and doing all those usual crazy things.
Etsy won't even know what's going on.
Which is exactly what Etsy doesn't want. Etsy doesn't want people turning them off and turning them on, and they're not able to gather accurate stats. And according to this comment that we had, I can't remember who left it, but I mean, that makes a lot of sense, and that's something I didn't even consider as to why they might not be allowing sellers who are making over $10,000 turn those ads off. So good point.
Karen, does Etsy pay anything for the ads? I've heard they don't.
Oh, if Karen, if you're talking about the ads that they place on Google and elsewhere, they're not getting free gas from Google.
No, not Google.
No.
And quite premium, I'm sure.
I mean, could they be doing it on a sale basis? Because I'm sure they do it through
Google
cookies.
Offering a CPA type arrangement.
I haven't heard of them doing it either. Plus, that'd be kind of hard to get your cookies to go 2 levels deep there.
Yeah. I think they're paying on a click basis, and they've probably figured out that 12 or 15% is kind of enough so that Etsy breaks even. That's my guess. Yeah, but they would not be getting these ads for free. I'd be shocked if that was the case. Yeah, Google would be missing out on a lot of money based on the number of Etsy ads I'm seeing on Google.
And Google likes money. They do a lot of expensive things.
They went from being a standard search engine to now, if we can tell Google to change the colors of the lights in the house. So
well, and supercomputer development and all of that, the research and all of the other stuff that they do. But anyway.
Etsy said give them a whole month to stay live before turning off the new feature if you're allowed to. I like the weak answer.
Gosh, yeah, that's
well,
that's pretty daring. Yeah.
Etsy said,
I understand, like I said earlier about the machine learning algorithms, that's probably a good period of time to give them enough understanding to know what's working, what's not working. But man, 60 cents a click or 12% and letting it go for a month blindly? Risky.
Well, I mean, if Etsy said give them a whole month before you turn them off, that also might be an answer to another one of our questions where we had asked, can you turn them off? So that if I would like a source for that, if you by chance have it, Cynthia, if you know where you saw that. I know that there's a lot of articles floating around, so I know if you can't find it, that's fine. Let's see. Ultimate Dragon says, Doubtless, Etsy is doing this to promote Etsy. Etsy's a business. Of course,
Duh.
Etsy's going to promote Etsy.
Yeah, they got to make money too.
That's true.
They are a business. I think that a lot of people forget that Etsy's a business. They got to keep their shareholders happy. Let's see.
Hey, and we want Etsy to be strong. You know, we don't want them to be floundering and
Oh yeah.
going out of business in 6 months. You know, we want them to be strong. So they have to make smart business decisions and ideally not screw over every seller as well.
Right.
Transformational Healing by Donna. I'm slightly concerned that working with Facebook to place ads, they will actually have all of the data to be putting ads in the face of my besties, the ones that buy regularly to get their new cut. If anything, working with Facebook is listening to you. So
Yeah.
they're looking at everything that you do, everything that you buy, everything that you watch. Your cell phone is listening to you. There's a reason why you'll say one thing and get an ad for it on Facebook 5 minutes later. I mean, the companies don't even really try to hide that anymore. So
Yeah. When it comes to the spooky spookies, Mark was in the military and he directly worked with the spooky spookies.
not
not
like that.
those spooky spookies, but he knows what is.
I don't know the where the article is from, but I don't know if it was Facebook or Google, but there was something about the cell phones because people were complaining that ads were popping up after they talk about something, and they just blatantly, openly said that they absolutely are listening to you. It's not a person, it's machine learning. Machine learning is everywhere. I mean, you look at like security in China; they have cameras that can tell who you are and pull up everything about you in seconds just by looking at your face. So it's everywhere.
Spooky spookies.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Do you have any questions?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like Thrifty Artist Life said they need to keep the seller happy too, and I think this is a bad idea. My concern is it's like Amazon. You add something to cart and they show you a cheaper item from another seller. That's not really what this is about, though. That wouldn't be offsite advertising.
Yeah, and
No,
I mean,
I think this is slightly off topic. This is more about Etsy becoming more and more corporate. If you were with Etsy
Right.
10 years ago, they were all about helping, handmade artists. And now I think they're more about helping shareholders get richer. So
And we agree, like, we completely agree with that. It's just it's not really related to the Etsy ads, but we do agree that Etsy is they're taking more of a company standpoint and less of that nice warm handmade care for the seller stance that we all really, really liked and valued back when it was.
But businesses have to grow to thrive.
They do.
If they don't grow,
we
other
still like Etsy,
marketplaces
but maybe
will
not as
take
much as we used to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Any last minute questions about Etsy ads? Otherwise, we'll get closing statements,
Yeah.
say our goodbyes, give hugs and high fives and all that.
And the bean of the week, we have to, and I don't think she's even here today. She is going to be heartbroken that she's not here. In the meantime, if you guys are, we'll go ahead and we do have a question. Let's get this one. Maine Renaissance Fair.
Is there any indication that Etsy will be increasing their ad spend now that they're getting money back on the investment?
Nothing official I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Would be nice.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the money going? Who knows? Pockets. I hope not.
No, probably not.
Probably not. I'm sure that, Etsy's constantly trying to, expand their own advertising as a platform. So
In the end, the more money you make, the more money they make.
all right, guys. So, little recap for those who joined us late. If you want to get my free PDF, my summer survival guide, which will teach you a little bit about the summer sales stall, which happens around, I would say, May to September of every year, where your sales naturally kind of slow down because of the warm weather. You can get that PDF down below. It's totally free. If you're already on my email list, you will not be double subscribed for grabbing that PDF. Next up, Nate over here is doing a weekly challenge every single week in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. That is linked down below as well, so feel free to join. You're going to be asked 3 little questions. All you got to do is say yes to all 3 and agree to those, and then pop in. Right at the top of the group, you'll see a new challenge every single Monday. This week's challenge is...
Give me ideas for recipes, quick, little, easy things that you like to make when you're in a pinch for time.
Yes. So anything like when you need to make food and you've got a million orders to pack, or you're doing SEO research and keyword lists haven't come out yet, then you can get these quick recipes and make dinner for your family. Yeah,
Damn,
awesome.
We're almost at 300 viewers right now. This is like a peak high. This is like HAA
Woo!
sales high.
Next up, don't list things on Etsy related to the coronavirus. Etsy doesn't like it, and they're taking those listings down.
It's distasteful anyway.
Same goes for Amazon, same goes for eBay, so make sure that you do not have listings like that in your Etsy shop. And if you do, I would remove them. Next up, if you want me to personally coach you this summer, you can join the waiting list for my own Handmade Alpha Academy. We have around 400 successful students in HAA who absolutely love it. And if they don't love it, then they get refunded. So that's just kind of our thing. If you don't love it,
No questions asked.
you get a refund. So if you would like to opt in for the waiting list for that, that does not obligate you to buy, but it does keep you posted and give you an early, like, advanced notice when we are preparing to launch Handmade Alpha Academy. Waiting list is linked down below. Feel free to join that if you're interested in joining this summer. And lastly, Anthony is going to be releasing keyword lists on eRank.com in how long's the estimate now?
1 week or less.
1 week or less. So down below, there is a link to eRank. If you don't have a free membership already, be sure to join. Keyword lists are going to be a pro feature though, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yes. So this is going to be the next tiered plan up, which is a paid plan, but keyword lists are going to really take a lot of the steps out of your keyword research and allow you to track your keywords more accurately and not have to go in constantly and reassess after, maybe like a holiday ends. Excuse me. And those results for those current keywords kind of change a little bit. You kind of have them all saved and cataloged. So that's down below. Did we have, Starla Moore, what about Stripe? Oh yeah, I guess I could announce that too. If you've been, where'd Anthony go?
Did I lose him? We lost him.
We hear you.
Nope, we hear you.
Yeah, I'm sort of here. I'm lingering in sort of internet limbo.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, that's okay.
Good thing we're right at the end. eRank now accepts credit cards, so you don't have to pay. There he is. You don't have to pay with PayPal anymore. If you would like to pay with a credit card for eRank.com, you can do that now. I'm not getting a commission per sale or per person who signs up for eRank, but I do work for eRank, and I'm not an affiliate, but I'm paid by eRank. We got to find a better way to word this disclaimer now, because this is a recent thing as of like February 1st.
I'll write you something out.
Write me something pretty. All right. Were there?
Yeah, Ginger asked how long the HA refund is good for.
30
30
days.
days from the date of purchase.
30 days. Let's see.
And if you do the payment plan, I can stop your plan at any time.
Yeah, if you're just like, I can't do this anymore, we will make sure to stop your plan.
That's pretty much it. So,
are we good?
Closing statements.
Bean of the week.
Bean of the week.
Congratulations to Linda Sue from Primitive Riches. She is our Bean of the Week. You can find her shop link down below. And if you would like to be next week's Bean of the Week, where we showcase your Etsy shop and give you a little shout out, make sure that you're super active
every week
in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, which is linked down below. You can join for free. Get in there, start commenting, because our the person who comments the most is selected for Bean of the Week. Hello, Bubbers. Does he look? Anthony, have you ever seen our picture here of? It's him. That's his Halloween picture.
Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs up anyway. Hit that little subscribe button down below. And if you want to see more of our videos, hit the bell icon. You'll get notified every time we upload a video or every time that we go live. Make sure you join our Facebook group. Every link about everything we talked about is probably in the description. If it's not, let us know, and I might put it there.
Look at him. Look at him. That was great.
He
He practiced that, didn't
I
he?
have never practiced that.
He's never said that before in his life. All right, guys. We hope that you have a great weekend. Bye. Wait, this button?
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.